Alyssa Bumgarner. Alyssa Bumgarner have voiced herself that she uh would have been interested in signing with the PBC if the PBC had a women's roster. Hold on. Hello. I'm doing my show. Uh, but hell yeah, man. The Zone does a great job at promoting women's boxing. They just signed Alyssa Bumgarner, the girl you see on the right, which I kind of figured that they would. Seeing that she beat Terry Harper, and Terry Harper was a DAZN women's fighter. She was one of the biggest women, one of the biggest boxers named on it in that stable. Not just women, just boxers in general. You know what I mean? They got Kayla Taylor also, but Terry Harper has been a champion for a minute. She was one of the bigger names, on that stable. Alyssa Bumgarner knocked out uh Alyssa Bumgarner knocked out Terry Harper in impressive fashion. And after the fight, Alyssa Bumgarner came out and said that she would have liked, if she had her choice, she would have liked to sign with Al Haymon in the PBC, but the PBC doesn't have, women's boxing. But the PBC doesn't have women boxing at all. Now, one fighter that they have on the stable, and that's the one thing that I do think that the PBC could do better. It is, I'm not even gonna say do better. They could just get into it. Period. Clarissa Shields and Alyssa Bumgarner fit the PBC mold perfectly. They just call it what it is. Most of the guys on PBC are black guys and Mexicans. Most of the guys that work with the PBC are black guys. It's ran by a black guy and Al Haymon. So let's just go and call it what it is. A spade is a spade, right? The PBC is majority the black network, right? Clarissa Shields is the best black boxer in the world, the best black women's boxer in the world. Alyssa Bumgarner is a hot rising women's boxer, in the world. Y'all, what better time for the PBC to get some fighters? What better time for women's boxing to crawl up from the depths, up underneath men's boxing? And we got to do better. We got to do better about getting the best fights in men's boxing, and we got to do better in women's boxing about promoting the best fights. You know what I mean? Especially when you got guys like, you got Hall of Fame writers like Montero on boxing. You got guys like Montero on boxing who don't even support, Clarissa Shields and everything she got going. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? He don't even support Clarissa Shields and everything, or she got going. So he wouldn't even, to the extent where he wouldn't even take the time to sit down and watch a Clarissa Shields fight, and he had nothing to do. I did a Southern Tea piece about Montero on boxing, not watching Clarissa Shields, fight for Undisputed, and I was like, and I said this is the guy. I said this is the guy that has a Hall of Fame vote. This is a guy who is in the Boxing Writers Association Hall of Fame, and he's going out of his way not to watch women's boxing and the best women's boxer there is today. But he made sure that he made a thing to watch the Blonde Bombers fight, and the Blonde Bomber isn't considered to be on the level of one that Clarissa Shields is, especially when you consider the Hall of Fame. The Blonde Bomber has zero. The Blonde Bomber has zero consideration for the motherfucking Hall of Fame. So what I want to know is, why did Montero on boxing feel like it was more needed to watch the Blonde Bomber fight than Clarissa Shields? But I just said all that to say this, dog. It's stuff like that. The reason that women's boxing is lacking behind men's boxing and even women's boxing in the UK. In the UK, shit, the women's boxing is just as big as the men's boxing almost, and that's why a lot of people took a problem with Clarissa Shields. A lot of people took a problem with Clarissa Shields, signing to the UK in the first place and going over there to the UK in the first place. Uh, a lot of the same people took a problem with her, doing MMA and going over to MMA in the first place. But you know what I mean? Just be real though, in America, and it's our fault, my fault, your fault, everybody else's fault. Yep. Shout out my guy Alex Alberto G. He said Clarissa Shields is fighting February 5th now. Yep. The UK opened up their boxing again, and now the UK boxing events are back on. Yep, Clarissa Shields does fight February 5th. And I think this is the time, y'all, for us to get behind women's boxing. We got to do better about supporting these women. For real, for real. We got to do better. We got to do better about supporting women's boxing for real, for real. Especially right now, it's the time. We got Clarissa Shields. We got Alyssa Buamgardner. I didn't put her up, but we got Katie Taylor. You know what I mean? We got Jessica McCaskill. We got a bunch of women's boxing. We got a bunch of good women's boxers out here right now who's highly excited. Hannah Gabriel, Michaela Meyer, top rank Michaela Meyer. You got Michaela Meyer on top rank. You know what I mean? And she's in the same. Michaela Meyer is in the same division as Alyssa Baumgartner. You know what I mean? So I feel like, man, if we would ever want to get behind women's boxing, now is the time. We got some big fights that could be pushed. Alyssa Baumgardner versus Michaela Meyer. That's one of the biggest fights in women's boxing. And I think we need to start, trying to get more push and more press and more eyes behind it. Because just like we can get behind these fights in men's boxing, that probably will never happen. Just like we could get behind these fights in men's boxing, that probably will never happen. The women don't have that problem. When women's boxing, you get a lot of them who get title shots 5, 6 fights into their career. You know what I mean? My bad, y'all. I'm getting right. I got me a laptop. He said Golden Boy is starting to really get behind promoting Sinisa Estrada. Yup. I heard Sinisa. I heard the Sinisa. I heard the Sinisa Estrada too. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of good boxers. Shout out my guy, Alex Alberto. It's a lot of good women's boxers that you know. Type your email address or phone number. It's a lot of women's boxers. It's a lot of good women's boxers that we could get behind. Or we can help you create a new one. It's a lot of good women's boxers that we could get behind right now. To lead the way. To lead the way type deal. Not just these two that I got up here. I just chose these two sisters up here. I just chose these two sisters up here because, Clarissa Shields is seen as the best women's boxer. And then you got Bumgarner coming off. They knock out over Terry Harper type deal. So I chose these two, but this is just a start. We could just start with these facts too. We definitely have to push our women's fighter. Yeah, it's just a start, with these two. A lot of great women boxers out here. It's really and I'm gonna keep saying it. It's our fault that women's boxing don't, prosper. I heard people say all the time, well, because it's just boring. It's just not the same. Women's boxing is never going to be men's boxing. I know it's not with an attitude like that. You know what I mean? With an attitude like that, it's never going to grow. And you can't sit here and tell me that it'll never be men's boxing or bigger than men's boxing, because if you go to the UK, the products are the same. The products are viewed the same. The products, one product sells uh just as much as the other product. Anthony Joshua, Anthony Joshua, Anthony Joshua. I mean, Katie Taylor sells just as much as Anthony Joshua in the UK. Katie Taylor is just a big draw as Anthony Joshua is in the UK. You could put you could put all the men boxers in the UK, all the women boxers in the UK on the street at the same time, and the people in the UK, uh, and the women's boxer will get just as much love as any male boxer, probably if not more love than the male boxer. Only in America, only in America where we completely act and treat, women's boxing like it's a completely different sport. You know what I mean? We got a different set of rules for women's boxing. That's part of the reason too. I feel like that it's not exciting and it don't draw the interest that it should. I feel like you gotta adjust the rules. I feel like you gotta adjust the rules a little more, longer rounds. You know what I mean? 2 minutes is just not enough time. 2 minutes is just not enough time to do anything. You know what I mean? But I actually think that they just, I think they, I'm finna go get my weed. I think they just, I think they just made women's boxing rule 3 minutes. So I think the 3 minute rule, so I think the 2 minute rule in women's boxing, I think the 2 minute rule in women's boxing has been changed. So I think it's 3 minutes now. So this just this just a way. But it all starts with the fan though, bro. It all like when these women about to have fight, like Shields fight on February 5th, right? I'm gonna make sure I do my part to keep everybody informed on it. I gotta make it its own video, Clarissa Shields February 5th, which why I'm kind of doing, this live stream too anyway, to bring light on it type deal. He said, you think Amanda Serrano versus Kayla Taylor should be Showtime pay-per-view? Yeah, I do. I do. It's a big enough. Yes, I do, because Serrano is one of the top women's boxers. Katie Taylor is one of the top women's boxers. It will be two undisputed champions, former undisputed champions, you know what I mean, fighting each other. Uh, Unified champions, at least if Katie Taylor is not undisputed. I know Amanda Serrano was before. If Katie Taylor is not, at least, two unified champions. Hell yeah, that's a pay-per-view. And we should treat it as such. Yeah, I do think that's the pay-per-view, Alex Alberto G. I do. And we gotta start, treating it, and we gotta start treating it that way. It really does start with us, buddy. It's a pay-per-view because you get two great fighters. You got two great fighters stepping in the ring. I think Amanda Serrano is a beast. Katie Taylor is one of the best, one of the more popular fighters, in boxing type deal. Damn, I'm tired of setting this computer up. She one of the best, one of the best draws, one of the best boxers type deal. Hell yeah, it's a pay-per-view. Especially with Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano last couple fights been on pay-per-view, right? Her and Jake Paul. Her last couple fights been on pay-per-view, right? So I don't see why, you will get a fight, with her and another champion and take it off the pay-per-view. I think that fight, probably gonna happen sooner than we think. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano. I think that fight probably gonna happen sooner than we think. I see Jake Paul. Said him and actually I seen Eddie Harris said him and Jake Paul working on type deal. Another big fight. Another big fight in women's boxing. Case of what? My favorite white guy. What's good, Kate? What's good? But hell yeah, man. I just think this perfect timing for women's boxing, especially with all the great women boxers we got, especially with all the great women's boxers. Especially with all the great, women's boxers that we got right now. Perfect time for motherfucking PBC. Perfect time for motherfucking PBC to come and at least sign one goddamn boxer. You know what I mean? To at least sign one goddamn, women's boxer. Because they don't have one. They don't have one. You know what I mean? You got Buamgardner, you got Carissa Shields. They both fit the mold. They both fit the standard and what PBC is. You know what I mean? They look just like us. Those are our sisters. I say, man, it's time to get our sisters. It's time to get our sisters signed, and it's time to get them that push that they need. Women boxing in general. These two boxes up here, and just women boxing in general. He said the zone say the first half. The zone say the first half of 22. The zone said what the first half of 22, Casey? What you talking about? But hey, and another thing I think that they should do with women's boxing, I think that they got to do they got to put them more on the same card, like because we aren't too familiar with a lot of the women boxers, because we're not overly familiar with the women's boxers. I think they should put more of them. I think they should put more of them, on the card together so we can see more of them fight at once, type deal. You know what I mean? Like when you have a Carissa Shields fight, like put Bumgarner on the card, put a Terry Harper on the card, type deal, something like that. We really got to get more of them fighting together on the same card. We got to get more. We really, in order for men's boxing to become better, we got to get more of them on the same page as far as the unions and sanctioning bodies and everything goes. For women's boxing to even start to prosper, we kind of got to get them on the same page and everything. Because men's boxing is already scattered in itself. And then you add the women's boxing in it, which is on the smaller level, and that's scattered as well. It's almost non-existent, especially when you compare it, to the men. People always want to heat me up when I started doing my shows and shit. I don't be liking that, man. He said somebody need to sign him or gave us fact. They need to sign. A lot of these women need to be. So that's what I'm saying. It's like it's like, man, it will make perfect sense for the PBC to come on out with their women's, divisions, for PBC to come on out with their women's roster type deal, start putting on fights. He just, especially with all the sisters, Hannah Gable, Carissa Shields, Lisa Bumgarner out here. The zone, them already doing their thing. The Golden Boy, them already doing their thing. The only people left is, for Al Heyman and them to get with it. And why not start with these two sisters right here? I think, more male champions and extra retired fighters, especially the ones of color, need to show support by going to the fights. Don't care much for the Red Brothers, but they do show up to fights. Yeah, facts. The Red Brothers do show up to women's boxing fights. You're right. That's what I'm saying. It's our fault, bro. We gotta put more. We gotta put more emphasis on it. We gotta bring more attention to it. For real. And to be real with y'all, I keep saying this for a reason. He said disrespectful that Shields is fighting for Sky. What you mean, T Sizzle? How disrespectful? What you mean disrespectful? He said Hannah Gabriel is a dime and a beast in women's boxing. Hell yeah, facts, brother. Fact. And to be real with y'all, if we can't get If we can't get women's boxing, off the ground, if we can't get behind women's boxing right now in the era in the Clarissa Shields era, if we can't do it right now, dog, we probably never go do it. And trust me, I can already see Clarissa Shields being who she is, making the noise that she makes. She's already brought more attention to it. It does get talked about. Wasn't getting talked about at all until she came back. So I can see that it is increasing. But we got to take it, to the next level. I want Clarissa Shields to at least be able to enjoy a few years of her labor. You know what I mean? Because she's going to be the face and the driving push that brings women boxing back. Now, when it reaches its peak, is Clarissa Shields going to be young enough, to benefit from it? I don't know. But I most definitely know that everything that Clarissa Shields is doing now is going to strengthen the case for women's boxing in the future. And I think one day it is going to be bigger because of Clarissa Shields for the next big thing. But in a perfect world, I wish that Clarissa Shields, will be able to still be boxing and see the fruits of her labor, herself. If we can't get women's boxing off the ground right now with Shields fighting out, we never going to get this shit out the ground. We never going to get this shit out the ground. Shout out my guy Crush the Legend. Salute. Shout out my guy Crush. Appreciate y'all sliding. Appreciate you sliding through this junk. He said Florida could have gas shares into PBC while she had to fight for Sky Sports. Now Floyd, you're right. Floyd could have, but he didn't. PBC don't even have a women's division. But you're right, and I did a sudden tea about that. Could Floyd do more? It's a lot Floyd could do for black boxing, and especially women's boxing type deal. But you are absolutely right. He could. He said Shield should be the co-main on a Spence fight, right, or something like that. But PBC hadn't even opened that bag. He said when the Shields fight career, she fight February 5th. She fight February 5th on the boxer card. Yeah. That's my biggest problem with PBC, man. They have no women fight. They have zero women fighters, man. That's my only problem. Zero. But I'm not mad at Clarissa for fighting in the UK. Because again, like I stated, women's boxing is bigger in the UK. He did nah, it's the fifth. It's the fifth. It's the fifth, bro. It's the fifth case of boy. It's the fifth. All right. That's my only. That's one. I ain't gonna say my only grief. That's one of my biggest rights with them though, Trap. They don't. They have zero women's boxing. It's one thing. I wouldn't even care if I wouldn't even care if Carissa Shields was your only women's boxer. You don't even have one women's boxer. You don't even have you're on PBC is even putting up an effort to pretend to care about, the women's boxing, which is why a lot of women end up going to the zone, end up going overseas because overseas boxing is much bigger. Not gonna lie, when I saw right after the Terry Harper fight, right after the what's good, Esan, right after the Terry Harper fight, I told you, I said, Eddie Hearn gonna sign, Alyssa Bumgarner because Eddie Hearn is a swift businessman, smart dude. Eddie Hearn, Eddie Hearn signs everybody that beats his fighter. If you upset, one of Eddie Hearn's fighter, he's going to sign your ass. So I already knew he was going to sign Buamgardner, and that's a great move. And Eddie Hearn supports the shit out of women's boxing. So I saw that move coming. So I'm not mad that Teresa Shields went to boxer, or I'm not mad that Bumgarner, or I'm not mad that Bumgarner went to the zone because those are the places where women's boxing is bread is butter in the UK. I want Clarissa Shields to beat up every fighter she can in the UK. To be real with you, I think she should run the UK circuit. I had made a joke about. I've been making a joke, y'all, but I really mean that shit. I be saying Asia Brona should go to the UK. Come on, baby. I be saying Asia Brona should go to the UK and fight all the UK fight. Come on, fight all the UK fighters too. But especially like for women, especially like for women, the zone and Top Rank does a great job for women's boxing. Now they could do better, but I don't harp on them. I don't harp. Actually, Top Rank does a hell of a job promoting their women's boxing, especially Michaela Meyer. I like what Top Rank done with Michaela Meyer. Yep. Shout out to Rich Shields for getting in the world record book. Yep, facts. He said it's not their T. They still want to sign with the PBC. Alyssa said before that fight she wanted to sign with the PBC. Yeah, facts, Trap. Know what I'm saying? It's women. I said that a little before you came in. It's women out here that's verbally saying that they want to fight for Al Haymon. Clarissa Shields said it too. Trap. Uh, Bumgarner said it recently, and Clarissa Shields said that shit years ago. And the time is now. There is no better time. If we can't get women's boxing y'all off the ground with all these great fighters out here, not just black great women fighters, great fighters in general. Katie Taylor, uh, uh, Terry Harper got the one loss to Bumgarner, but Terry Harper, uh, Cecilia Brakes, uh, McCaskill, Gabriel, uh, I said Meyer. You know what I mean? If we can't get this shit off the ground right now, y'all, it really ain't no hope. We got all the pieces, all the tools we need in front of us. On some real shit, y'all. Yep, Amanda Serrano. Yep, Serrano. She the beast. Jessica McCaskill. Yep, Serrano is the little goat. I call Clarissa Shields the big goat. No, the big goat, big weight class. When I say big and little, I mean weight class. I call Clarissa Shields the big goat and Amanda Serrano the little goat. You put them next to each other. You put them next to each other. There's two goats. They remember Dana White wasn't promoting women UFC fighters until Ronda Rousey. Facts, bro. And Dana took off. Bingo. He did. He took that shit off, and now women's boxing and I mean now the women's division in MMA is major. Man, this lady confusing me, man. But yeah, I hate when people be trying to hit me up when I'm doing my show. I swear I hate that shit, man. Swear I hate that shit. But anyway, uh, unless it's dope. My phone literally won't fucking ring, dog. And I start my motherfucking show, and then motherfuckers want to, bro, leave me the fuck alone. Yeah, I see what the fuck I'm doing. I think these be kids that be trolling me too. Let me show this John on Facebook. I think it be kids that be trolling me. He said Dana, Eddie, Bob, Al, 22 rankings. Now you tripping, trap. You tripping. Now you on your my only problem with Al is the the women's boxing thing. Other than that, he put on, bigger fights than all them types of. Now they might be a little more consistent than Al, but Al put on the biggest fights. Al go give you the biggest fights every year. I haven't go give you the biggest fights. Type this. My only problem with Al is the women's thing. My problem with Top Rank is a lot of shit. Trav said if they cut the pay of all the men, they can pay women. They pay. Nah, they don't. It ain't that. It ain't all. It's like everybody not getting paid that much money. Trav, that's what I'm saying, G. The only people that's making the big money is the people who's supposed to make the big money. You know what I mean? You want to cut off. You want to cut off. You want to cut off the top. Like you want to cut off the top people money when really shit you ain't gotta cut off they goddamn money. All you really gotta do, my charger came up. All you really gotta do is put more money into women's promotion. You ain't gotta cut nobody pay. You don't gotta cut. You don't gotta cut nobody pay. You just gotta put more money into promotion. What? Damn, try lost my train of thought, man. They throwing me off, man. Bet. What's your the section? Drop your cash out so I can get my movie, bro. I want my movie, bro. Didn't you say they just $7? I want my movie, bro. What's the cash out? I'm gonna hop on the road in a second though, but I'm gonna take y'all with me so y'all ain't gotta go down. I'm gonna take y'all with me on the road this time. But then Trey was having a good Trey was having a good convo and I forgot what the fuck we was talking about. My phone threw me off. Earl, Canelo, Bud, Heyman, they all getting too much and more people will watch PBC just doesn't give the option. Okay. I see what you're saying. I say this, man. Canelo, He said, "Dang." He said, "Move that." He said, "That movie fire." Oh, okay, D man. Yeah, I gotta check that junk out, D man. I gotta check that junk out, D man. I'm I'm gonna cop that hoe when I get back. I'm gonna cop that hoe when I get settled. Once I get back, I might tell my gal. I might tell my gal to pull up. What the movie about again, Cal? Tell me what the movie about again, Cal. I'm gonna ask my gal. Do she want to watch a movie today? Cal still here? My guy D man said that jump fire. He said fans control boxing, not these organizations. Fact. You know some real shit, dog. People can say what they want to, dog, but I only been on YouTube a certain amount of time, right? And I can see the powers that be make certain moves. I can see the powers that be. I can see the powers that be make certain moves, and then I can see how like YouTube react to it, and the fans react to it, and social media react to it, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the how everybody react to it, and then I can see the sanctioning bodies go back and then change a rule, that they made. Uh, I can see them go back and then change a rule that they made. Just like they said, Devin Haney was the Pride champion, and we all acted a damn fool. And then they went back and then they changed. You know, they went back and recanted the Pride championships, and now he's still the real champion. You see what I mean? So, like Cop said, we do got power out here. He said Canelo is a draw, Max and Ugo's, but boxing isn't a thing stateside anymore, and pay needs to reflect that it's not basketball or football. We need quantity, cut the pay, and give us more fights. Top guy often. Now, even the NFL gives us top guys once a week. Yeah, you're right. He said that's facts to you. I ain't program. Hey, this made sense though, Trap. I ain't gonna lie. Did what you should have said the other day. When you said that, you said boxing isn't a thing stateside anymore, and pay needs to reflect it. That's what the fuck you should have said the other day, bro. Instead of saying take everybody pay and shit, you should have said that. And then what really killed it for me when you said basketball needs to reflect that it's not basketball or football. Now that was major. Boxing in America is not basketball or football. But my argument to that Trap is they don't the Canelo make that kind of money. Wilder make that kind of money. They make that kind of money. Earl make decent money. Earl make superstar NBA player money. But it ain't too many of them that's really getting checks like that. You know what I mean? It ain't Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, it ain't too, but it ain't too many guys just getting checks like that. Big old check like that. Earl Spence is in the realm now. He in the area now where he hitting double figure millions and shit like that. He in there now, but outside of them three people, Canelo, Wilder, goddamn Earl Spence, ain't nobody seeing like double millions and shit. From that shit. Plant just seen a double million from a Canelo fight. He said these boxing organizations should set aside a budget specifically for women's boxing that makes sense right now. Yeah, in fact, that's what I'm with. Like they need to put more into that. They don't necessarily have to take away from the men. You know what I mean? They don't necessarily got to take away from the men Trap, but they most definitely need to put more into the fucking women, especially right now. Especially right now when we got, especially right now when we got so many good women in boxing. Yo, Toy and Brittany. Bring one hell of a feeling. Honey shots. I got been setting up this laptop. Actually, that whole is done. That whole is done. I got me a laptop for so it ain't nothing, it ain't nothing special though, but it's better than my Android type shit. You know, hood special, hood special laptop. That's all. I just know a little hood special laptop. Shout out y'all good folks on Southern T for rocking with your boy. Appreciate y'all good folks on Southern T for rocking with your boy. He said, but if you cut the top drastically, there's more for all. So even the guys getting less will still be getting less, but there will be more dates. Like battle rap, the guys make less battle more. He said you have more people going there for their favorite fighter fights, and you more people buying their favorite fighter fights and on pay per view notice. But boxing has a budget, so there isn't an option for the least paid to fight more all the time. But if Canelo's 2040 M's was capped at 10-7, there's 30 M's for the other fighters and fight cards, male and female. Yeah, yeah, you're right about that. Like, yeah, you're right. I get what you're saying. But look, so I get what you're saying, Trap. We need to come up with a cap like for certain fighter. Like Canelo will be top tier though. So maybe his cap shouldn't be 40. Maybe his cap should be like 20 million. Maybe the most Canelo should be able to earn is 20 million. And then like you have Canelo Wilder cap at like 20 million, right? Heavyweight champions, Wilder cap, Canelo cap like at 20 million. Then you got guys like Earl Spence cap like at 15 million. And then you got guys like Tank Davis cap at like 10 million. And then everybody else fall like under 5 million and 1 to 5 million. That's what you got. So I get what you're getting at. Yeah, I get what you're getting at. If you do it like that, Trap, then just depending on what number you put on the hill, yeah, that make a lot of sense, Trap. Just depending on what number you put on it. Hell yeah. Yeah. Now they make do it like the NBA. Do it like the NBA. Do y'all fucked up. Do it like the NBA and the NFL type shit. Oh, he said Canelo capped at 5 until he fights somebody worth. Till he fights somebody worth 20. Y'all fucked up. Y'all fucked up. Now I just don't try, bro. I just took my socks off and I can't find them motherfuckers. Don't y'all hate when she be disappearing on y'all? Do she be disappearing on y'all? Pop a lot, what's good, Pop? Shout my nigga Pop. Don't y'all hate when she be disappearing on y'all? Bro, I just took my socks off and I can't find the other. I found one and I can't find the other. Now my feet was in the same place. How the hell my socks in a different place? Found it. He said some of the fighters fight for 30K a fight. Yeah, right. Yep, yep. Some of them fight for 10K. You know what I mean? Some of them fight for 10K. He said 10-7M should be the top tier, 3-5 mid level, and then everything else under that. If you not a pay restart, they can hit 280, 300K, 800K should be the cap for them. So you want to cap boxes? You want to cap boxes out at, okay? I get what you're saying, Trap. You want to cap boxes out at 10 million based off the scale that they less attractive to the fan than football and basketball. So you want to cap them out at 10 million because football and basketball caps are like, 20 million, 30 million, shit like that. So the best boxers will make 10 million based off of scale of the rest of the sports. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense. I get what you mean. I think your cap might be a little too low at 10. But if you comparing that shit to football and basketball, I get exactly what you're saying, Trap, to cap it off at 10. I get what you're saying. I feel you, Trap. It ain't the boxers. Well, I ain't gonna lie. Guys like Canelo gonna hear that shit and be pissed off. But like the average boxers, the mid-level boxers and shit, the average guys, they'll hear that and they'll be like, hell yeah, that's a great idea. I can tell you your worth. You set a number and negotiate. Yeah, Pop. We ain't it ain't that simple today. We talking about we trying to get more money. We trying to get more money for women's boxing. Pop, like yeah, with the current, yeah, that's how it is right now, Pop. With the setup how boxing is currently, yeah, they can't tell you where if you set a number, then you negotiate. Yeah, fact, just how it is now. We was in here thinking of ways to get some kind of fucking structure to this. You know what I mean? To help figure out a way to boost women's boxing too, type shit. You know what I mean? Try to get more fights and shit. We had this. We tried to have this conversation the other day, but it ain't really go. It ain't really go that way. Cause my nigga Trap ain't say what the fuck he just said. Now he said some other shit the other time like that. But we 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 more so was trying to yeah, with the current system, Pop, you're right. With how it is now, but we feel like how it is now is fucked up because with the way they Trap just broke it down, then boxers are overpaid. With the way that Trap broke it down, all boxers are overpaid. Like a guy like Canelo shouldn't be making $40 million a year, $60 million a year, just like a guy like Chris Paul. When Chris Paul played in the NBA and much, people, some, like that, like when NBA holds more value type deal. You know what I mean? Or he shouldn't be making more than a guy like Ben Ross or the same as Ben Roethlisberger in the sport that's much popular in America. So when you put it like that, you know, but most boxers won't be overpaid. Well, on the grand scheme, they would because boxing wouldn't even have that much money in their budget because boxing is like the seventh sport in America. Basketball and football number one. He's saying if they cap out at 30 million a year, boxing should cap out like at 10 or 7 million a year. You know what I mean? With how it is now, yeah, you right, Pop. But that's a good idea though. If you're going by numbers, and you're going by facts. Like we love boxing. We love boxing in this room, in this chat, but we love boxing in this room, in this chat. He said that getting 75 million this year. So that's a quarterback. That's a quarterback, and probably the most popular sport in America. The highest paid position and probably the most popular sport in America is making $75 million. Shout out GB Lifetime Videos, right? The highest paid position on the highest earning team. Now he got more than Canelo Pop. He got more than Canelo Pop. Know what I'm saying? And Pop, and listen to what we saying, Pop. What Trap saying? Trap saying Canelo shouldn't be making Dak Prescott money because boxing in America isn't as popular as football. You know what I mean? He's saying if Dak Prescott maximum contract is 75 million, Canelo Alvarez maximum contract should be about 10 million based on the standard given for boxing and where it's at. So that way we get more Canelo fights. We'll get 4 Canelo fights at $10 million instead of 1 or 2 Canelo fights at 20 million and $40 million. We'll get 4 fights at 10 million based on his cap, based on the boxing cap. Turn up, nigga. I I feel like you misunderstanding what we saying. But turn up. He said that getting around 42 million a year. Yeah, our football. Yeah, our football. Yep. His contract right about 40 million, his football contract. Now this really, if you think about it like that, if you ranking boxing popularity, if you comparing boxing popularity to basketball and football, then Trap is right. No boxer should be making $40 million. Maybe unless you Wilder or Canelo. Like tears, like super. That makes some sense though. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. That makes some sense. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. That makes some sense. He said, "What's that for 8 years?" Nah, that's a year, cop. That's a year. That's a year. Yeah, but the point is what we saying. He said that getting 75 this year, then it drop. Yeah, but what we saying is Canelo Alvarez shouldn't be making Dak Prescott money if football is the highest grossing sport. What it say? Because I don't see the time on her. Trap. I can't see the time on her, Trap. You have to tell me what to say, or write that junk again, or because I can't see it. I can't see it. I can't see the time on it. But hell yeah, but hell yeah, we really got here. We got here off the strength. We trying to figure out a way to put more to increase women's boxing popularity. He said PBC hates women's what he said. Yeah, facts. I ain't gonna say they hate women, but they don't. That's my biggest problem with them. They don't got no women. I, I ain't gonna say they hate women. Shit, they all man. They hate the business. Like they don't. They not a believer in the business of women's boxing. They not a believer in the business of women's boxing. That's clear. That's clear in the fact that they have 0 women boxers on their roster. That's clear. That's clear. They have 0 interest in women's boxing. And what I'm saying is, PBC, everybody, because everybody, because women's boxing is on the increase for sure. It's for sure on the increase. We know more women's boxing today than we knew back then. Us in here, we knew the women's boxers, Lucia Riker, Ann Wolf, Kristen Martin, Layla Ali. We knew all of them, and shit back then. But we know more women's boxing now, than we did for the most part of our life. So if we can't get money behind them now, if we can't get the water moving and shit now, we can't get the fire jumping and shit now with women's boxing, we never go get it because we never gonna have a crop of women's boxing that's this good. Like as a whole, as a total type deal. He said women's boxing has never been big. I used to watch it on Worldwide Sports. Yeah, facts. That's what I'm saying. But it should be though. It should be though. In the UK, it's just as big as the men boxing is in the UK. In America, we really don't care about boxing as a whole. Again, the people in this room do. The people who come here do. Because you gotta care about boxing if you come into my little ass show. If you come into my little ass domain, you gotta care about boxing. You know what I mean? We care about boxing here, but America as a whole, they don't really too much care about, boxing. He said, not just for women, though, it helps lower tier pay. Yeah. With the idea that Trap saying to rank it for what it is. That's what Trap said the first time was, take all these people money, they're making too much money. We need to underpay the fighters. He said we need to underpay the fighters. And that's what mean Trap had that disconnect the other day. He said we need to underpay them. But the word he should have used was what word he used now, because he's not underpaying them. What he just said is not underpaying the fighters. What he just said is actually giving the fighters exactly what the fuck that they worth. But that's not what he said the other day. He ain't say that the other day. But what he just said is giving the fighters exactly what they're worth. And that I 100% agree with Trap. What Trap saying is, let's really get for real with this shit. Let's really get for real with this shit. Football, basketball, baseball, college football, college basketball, probably not college basketball, but college football, NFL football, NBA basketball, and Major League Baseball are all more popular than boxing in America right now, right? So the top football players the top quarterbacks in football make $40 million a year. The wide receivers make up to 20 million, 18, something like that a year. Basketball players, the top quarterback make 40 million a year. The top basketball players make what? 30 million a year, 40 million a year, right? The top baseball player make whatever the fuck they want to make. You know what I mean? Ain't no salary cap in baseball. They might make 50 million a year, 60 million a year. You know what I'm saying? If we putting boxing in its proper place, it's not football. They shouldn't make 40, 50 million a year. It's not basketball. They shouldn't make 40, 50 million a year. It's not baseball. They shouldn't make 50, 60 a year. They should make around 15 million, 20 million a year. At the most, they could make. The cap for a fight. The cap they should make for a fight is about 15 million based off the ranking of their sport in America. That's what Trap's saying. And that shit make perfect sense. He said only the top guys will be upset, but it makes them, facts, it makes them fight more. They want to make up for what they used to get true value pay. Facts, boxing salary cap. Facts. Fact, the guy at the top, if Canelo cap is 15 million based on a boxing salary cap, then Canelo will have to fight 3 times a year, whether he was fighting 1 time a year, or he had to fight 4 times a year, whether he was fighting 2 times a year. You know what I mean? To get his salary cap right. A guy like Earl Spence is being they let you know though, a guy like Earl Spence is being paid adequately because that's around what the fuck he making. A little less than that, by 12 million. 8 million, 12 million, you know what I mean? But yeah, that make perfect sense. A boxing salary cap. That that's cool. I understand it. I understand it. Like I agree. Like they make trap. That's a brilliant fucking idea, bro. Trap. That's a brilliant fucking idea, bro. And then look, it's crazy. It sounds so smart, right? But NBA do this, football do this, baseball do this, fucking soccer do this, everybody do this, but boxing. And it sounds so smart talking about it when you just put it on boxing. When really all we gotta do is fucking put the same rules of other sports on boxing, and boxing to be a much better sport. But boxing so fucked up and corrupt, shit this simple won't even. Each boxing sanctioning body is its own place. Everybody make their own fucking rules up. That's how fucked up boxing is. He said there are more female entrepreneurs like female owners of the following teams: WNBA, NFL, NBA, volleyball, and baseball invest in female boxing. It will be productive and will yield more fans, male and female. True. True that. He said, hey Trey, why put it on there? Why not create it ourselves? I don't think they don't really want structure. They don't want no structure. It'd be too much like right. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I be telling y'all, y'all gotta really look deep because the structure that we are going up against y'all, the structure that we going up against, the structure we trying to tear down, which is really no structure, which is really them doing what they want to do. The PBC is set up to tear that down. That's why everybody is attacking the PBC. The PBC is taking out the promoter and the manager thing, and they're becoming advisors. They're becoming what you call them, advisors and consultants. They're consultants and advisors. They're taking away promoters and managers. You know what I mean? Well, they're taking away the promoter aspect. That's why people are going at the PBC so hard because the setup of the PBC is to take the promoter out of the picture, so the boxing doesn't need a promoter. You just got a guy advising and consulting you on what to do with your money. You know what I mean? So that's why I get on the PBC when I need to. I'm gonna get on the PBC forever about this women's boxing shit until they start signing some women's boxer. But if you really pay attention to it, you know what I mean? All this negative shit about the PBC is because their system is literally the exact opposite of traditional system, that's been going on type shit. I'm finna switch phones though, y'all. I'm finna switch phones. And then we finna take a ride. We finna take a ride. I'm gonna go about shit another 30 minutes or an hour, something like that, about another 30, maybe something like that. I'm finna switch phones, then we finna take a ride. T20, they ain't hearing me, T20. They not hearing me, T20. They ain't hearing me, T20. Yo.
Okay. Yo, can y'all hear me? Yo, can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. I'm trying to make sure my shit straight before I pull off. Y'all get me? Can y'all hear me? Am I still twerking? T20 said the only organized group is still get attacked for paying. Yo, can y'all hear me? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, bro. I left. I was on the phone, man. I told y'all everybody want to call me and shit when I get to doing my shit, bro. I swear, like, y'all, if if I don't do this show, I really don't think if I don't hit these live buttons sometimes, I don't think people will call me, bro. Certain people. And I ain't talking about the project got the phone with, but it's like I think people see this shit, bro, and they want to call me for real. I don't be liking that shit because y'all see I'm occupied, man. Y'all fucking up my room. Really, that's what y'all doing. Y'all fucking up my room. Can y'all hear me? Is that boxing as we know it? Can y'all hear me? All right, bet. Yeah, I was on the phone. I had answered the phone. That's why that junk had one out. And we having a good ass conversation too. They do need to do boxing like the NBA and NBA and football. As far as like the cap go, we need to give it a boxing cap. It's the fifth. It used to be like 7. Now it's like 5. I give it 5 now. It's the fifth. It's the fifth popular sport in America. So they cap need to be paid like it. They top fighters can't make 50 million a year like football and 40 million like basketball, 60 million like baseball, shit like that. They shouldn't be able to get there because they not that popular over here. When you comparing it sport for sport, how can a Canelo not a Canelo in boxing is it more popular than a Tom Brady in football? And then in football, you got guys taking. I can't even use Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Because he taking a pay cut. But let's just say Tom made 40 million. Tom worth 40 million, right? They say Canelo make 40 million, Tom worth 40 million. So Canelo, is worth what he make, right? So shit, fuck, he worth 42. But let's say they both worth 40. But how are they equal if football is so much bigger than boxing? So what Trap's saying, the top boxers, the guys at the very top will be pissed. But they'll have to fight more though. They'll just have to fight more to get what they would normally make, which works for us, having them fight more. If Canelo only able to get 20 million instead of 40, he'll have to fight, twice. Have to fight twice a year instead of once a year. You know what I mean? Or 3 times a year instead of twice a year. We'll get that extra fight from everybody because they'll be capped out at a certain amount. And that money that they scrape off at the top, that money that they cap off at the top, right? They'll be able to put it into the smaller fights, and they'll be able to put that shit into women's boxing. You know what I mean? So they do make sense. But that's not what the fuck Trap said the other day. The other day, Trap came here and said, let's underpay boxers. That's what Trap said. He said, boxers fight, fans pay, promoters jerk us around with matchmaking. Bingo. Bingo. And that's Al Heyman in the PBC whole little sticks, they whole little motto. Is you don't need a promoter. And that's why they get attacked so much. He said champions should get paid more than their champions, aren't they? Huh? Say it again, Cop. Should get paid more than their champions, aren't they? Our champions should get paid more than their champions, aren't they? Yeah, okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. I'm slow, not you, Cop. My bad. I get what you're saying. Hold on. But yeah, I'm back though, man. I swear, I got it, man. I gotta do some extra shit now. I sleep, but nah, fuck this shit. He said fights that are bullshit. Let the promoters pay for them. They could keep them bullshit fights all together. I know every now and again it's needed. It's needed though. No, unless you like Earl Spence though, then you just fight. You just fight niggas. You just fight the number 4 ranked nigga, the number 3 ranked nigga, the number 1 ranked nigga, a champion. You know, the number 3 ranked, nigga like that. Unless you just him or something like that, then you only fight top nigga. It's crazy how I was just over in she got a flat tire. Fucking 3rd Street. On the back of 3rd Street, down the bottom of McDonald's. You should gotta be there at 4. Y'all make sure y'all block that spam shit when that spam shit come in that motherfucker. Hey, y'all finna get the fuck up out of here, bro. Y'all leave for 10 minutes and some big slip through. All right, now. All right, bet y'all. Hey, I'm gonna get the fuck up out of here, y'all. I'm already moving in a second, though, but, I'm already doing a lot, and I'm finna go do too much, so I need to be focused. So I'm getting with y'all. Fuck with y'all slide through this jump for the quick little second skin hard. So it's at the pad. It's at the feet. Appreciate that.